probably be able to hear throughout the video. She's playing. This is playtime. Hopefully she doesn't mess with the camera on the rocking chair. No, ma'am. Okay. For y'all that maybe follow me on Instagram or that don't really know me, I'm really happy to make this YouTube channel because I get a lot of questions on my Instagram as I've grown some followers, and I just thought this would be a fun place to combine all my interests in one with my arts and crafts, my photography business, everything. If you start rocking, it's because Elena, so I'm sorry. This is my only setup right now. So my first video, I guess I thought the easiest thing to do would be my labor and delivery story, because I get questions about that a lot. And I know when I was pregnant, I was searching labor and delivery stories. Mine in no way is going to be like everybody else's. Every labor is different. Every time's different. You go over your due date. Some people go under. I'm not telling you this is how yours is going to be. I'm just going to share my experience. And it was pretty scary, so I've never really openly talked about it. So I guess now's the time. So stay tuned. I really don't know where to start. I guess I'll start with, I had a pretty easy pregnancy nonetheless, except the morning sickness, but that was more in the beginning obviously. But towards the end, the only thing I can really remember was getting very uncomfortable, getting the very bad restless legs. Like, I can't even explain it. I guess only you'll understand it if you've had it. It's like you can't get comfortable, you can't walk, like your legs are just in pain, and it's like, it's a feeling you've never felt before. So that was something that was really weird for me. And so the weeks went on, and about starting 38 weeks, that's when I really wasn't sleeping at all. I was very uncomfortable getting up all the time to go to the bathroom, getting up all the time to drink. I kind of lost my appetite a little bit. The morning sickness kind of came back a little bit. But it wasn't till, like, we went to my 38-week checkup, which was actually only like 3 days shy of my 39 weeks mark. So we went to my 38 weeks checkup, and that was actually the first time my doctor checked me. So I don't know if I was dilated before 38 weeks. This is just the first time my doctor personally checked me. Since I wasn't high risk, there wasn't no need to check me. So when she did check me at 38 weeks, I was 2 centimeters dilated and 75% effaced, I believe. So I wasn't really in a rush. I was just happy I had some progress. So it was kind of knowing like, yay, I have some progress. Well, my doctor was she told me, it was a Friday. I had Elena the next Friday. She told me, she said, I have a feeling you're going to have a baby next Friday. She said, I think it'll be before next Friday or on Friday. She was very confident in that. So I was kind of excited, but she was going to be out of town. So I was kind of bummed also because I loved her. She was my favorite doctor. What are you doing? But, well, anyway, another thing that was stressing me out is in the beginning, my mom was supposed to fly out around the time she thought Elena would come. So that stressed me out so bad because the airport she was going to fly into is like an hour and a half away. So I was like having anxiety. I was like, what if we're on the way to pick her up, I go into labor? Or what if I'm already in labor, she's flying in? So my husband, Val, has to go drive her, and I have the baby and they're not here. And I was just freaking out, which your anxiety while you're pregnant is even worse. And I already have anxiety. So I was just like freaking out about that. So my mom didn't know when to buy the ticket. Well, after my doctor told me, well, I think you're going to have a baby this Friday, my mom and dad decided they were going to drive down early Thursday morning, like after my mom got off work at like 2 a.m. Like they were going to head out and drive straight to California. Well, they were going to stop. Well, okay, fast forward, that whole week I just felt weird. I just felt not myself. Okay, fast forward to the Thursday, my parents were already on their way. Well, that morning I woke up and I was 39 weeks and 3 days then. Yes. I just felt really weird, like just not myself. I was having some Braxton Hicks, some inconsistent contractions, but nothing that was like, oh my God, I can't bear this. So when my husband got home from work, we deep cleaned the house. I was just in that nesting thing, and I wanted to speed things along because I could just tell she was coming. So we were nesting. My parents were on their way. I think they were New Mexico. I don't know. I don't even know. But anyway, they were driving. They were on the road. And we deep cleaned the house. Like, took the mattress off, cleaned under the bed, like, cleaned everything. Cleaned Elena's room one last time. And then we went to the gym, and my husband went to the gym, he lifted, I just went and walked on the treadmill. And I got one of the treadmills that, like, you can escalate it, like the level and the steepness and the how hard it is. So I walked for about 45 minutes. We came back and we went to bed. We went to bed about 10. I woke up around 11:45. Val was already passed out, and I started having contractions. Like, they started off really light. They got really bad, but they weren't close enough together at all. Maybe like 15 minutes apart. But I knew it was labor. I woke up Val a little. I was like, just want to let you know I'm having contractions, but I wasn't gonna like wake him up and make him get up and all that. When he had to work early in the morning, just in case I didn't go to labor, I didn't want to have to go through work because I kept him up all night. So I waited, and I didn't get any sleep. They started getting worse and worse. I knew I was in labor when I was like, I need to get in the bathtub. I was like, I need to get in the warm bath because that was my first thing to take the pain away. It didn't take it away. So that's when I really knew. I was like, okay. But when you're in labor and you're a first-time mom especially, you never believe you're in labor. Like, you never really believe. So I texted my mom. I didn't know where they were. They were taking like a break or something. I said, I think I'm in labor. And my dad actually saw it. My mom was driving, so he told my mom, he was like, Audrey said she's in labor. So my mom freaks out, and she's like, you know, when a pregnant lady thinks she's in labor, she's really in labor. So they like booked it through. So they pretty much drove straight through Arkansas. So I texted my mother-in-law, and I let her know. She called me, and she wished us luck. This was like 3 in the morning. We're in California, they're in Arkansas, so it was about 5 for them. So then I called labor and delivery. They were only like 3 minutes apart. I called labor and delivery, and they just said, just watch them. We're literally walking distance from the hospital too on base, so I wasn't really worried about not making it in time. So they're like, just wait a little bit. So I was like, okay. So Val got up for work around 6, and I was still up, and I was walking around. I was drinking water, and I was just having really bad contractions. And I think he didn't really believe me at that point. I don't know if he did not believe me, but I guess he was just in that state too. He's like, oh, you're probably just having pains. Like, he didn't want to believe it. So I was like, then they got really close together. Like, this was around more 7 o'clock. They got like a minute apart. So he called his chain of command, his sergeant or whatever, and said, Elena, be careful. And he was just saying like, hey, my wife's having consistent contractions. We already called the hospital. They already gave us the go-ahead to come on in. So he's like, we're just going to go to the hospital. So they're like, okay, whatever. They were really cool about it. Lane, come here. Come to mama. Oh, are you going to walk on camera? Come here. Oh, no. You say, hi, Elena. You have a bag stuck to you. Oh, this is probably not. Here we go. Can you say hi? You say hi? No? Oh, okay. Well, back. Okay, so we were on our way to the hospital. This is the funniest part. My parents got to base when we were on our way to the hospital, so thank the Lord Jesus was watching out for us. Like, they got there right in time. But the funny thing is, like, they don't know anything about, like, military bases or anything. So they tell us they're at the MCX, which is like the PX. So we drive to the PX. I'm having contractions at this point because we're trying to meet them to follow them so they can follow us to the hospital. I'm like, we're driving around in rush hour because it's time everybody go to work. I'm having contractions. At this point, I'm still happy and I'm still like laughing because it's kind of like ridiculous. We're driving around and we're like, you're not at the PX. What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, by the blah, blah, blah. Well, they were talking about the MCX gas station. So they were on the other side of base. So we're like, oh, good Lord. So we were driving around and I was having contractions. Good thing I was still laughing at this point. So like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, we met my parents, went to the hospital. They brought me to the back room, they checked me. I was only at a 3, which you have to be a 4 to be admitted. They put me on the monitor. I was having contractions back to back. No break, but they would not admit me because it was just, I don't know, it's just there's, whatever it's called, I don't know. Anyway, they brought the ultrasound out to look at Elena, and her head was like by my spine. So they confirmed it was back labor. What are you doing? What are you doing? They confirmed I was having back labor, and let me tell you, it's like the worst. I don't even remember what it felt like, but I hope I never have back labor again because it was bad. But anyway, so she's like, I'm sorry, we cannot admit you. She was like, go home and walk for 2 hours. Okay, so we came back. I was at the point now where I was in pain. I didn't want anybody to talk to me. I was even snappy at my mom. I'm sorry, Mom, I love you. I was snappy. I was like, do not talk to me. My dad and husband went to the fire station to get the car seat installed. Right on time, right? Wait till the last minute, let me tell you. They went, and I was in so much pain. The military housing came to fix Elena's light because her light decided to come out. So they were coming in. I'm in the back room, and I'm like moaning in pain. And this poor guy's in here. And I'm snapping at my mom. I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm in pain, just shush. And then when a contraction would go away, I'd be all happy and fine. And then I'd be like, shh. And this poor guy was just like, oh my gosh. Okay, so my husband got home, and it hadn't been 2 hours yet. It's because I tried to walk around the neighborhood. I couldn't. I was like, no, I'm not going to. I'm in too much pain. I just couldn't. I'm a baby. So he came back. It wasn't 2 hours yet. I'm like, we're going. He's like, they said to wait till 2. I was like, we are going. I pulled him out the door. We went. And I got checked, and I was thankfully a 4. Thank the Lord. I was a 4. So we got admitted. I was like, I need my epidural. No time of waiting. I was like, I need it now. So the thing with an epidural is, well, here they said, well, you have to have your IV for about an hour with like the fluids before you get it. So I was like, okay, give me my IV. They send a corpsman in, which a corpsman's kind of like a nurse, I guess. I don't want to like say anything I don't know, but anyway, he came in. He was kind of new. And he could not find my vein. And I was in so much pain. At that point, the vein, it didn't hurt me when he was trying to find my vein, but because my contractions were so worse, but I was just like, get this in me so I can get my medicine. So I'll check how much this is going. So he kept sticking me. And it was just terrible. Like, I'm a licensed phlebotomist, so part of me just want to be like, give me that, I'll do it myself. I was in that state of mind right then, and making sure I'm in focus. Hi, baby girl. So my dad got really mad. He went out there and he was like, that's the last time they're going to stick her. He's like, 2 times is enough. I need somebody experienced. So I guess the captain came in. He was really nice. He got me on one try, and he's like, I'm so sorry. So they gave me some pain medicine while it lasted, not the epidural, but something else. And it helped a little bit, but it wore off. Well, what happened was there was an emergency C-section, so the anesthesiologist couldn't come in to give me my epidural yet, which obviously I wasn't going to get mad. I mean, it's an emergency C-section. I was like, okay, I understand. So I had to wait more. Well, okay, fast forward. After all that big mess, after me being really mean to my mom and dad and anybody who talked to me, because I was in so much pain, I got my epidural. I was fine. And yeah. Anyway, okay. So I did my makeup and I was all ready. Well, fast, pretty much nothing happened between then. I just slowly dilated. And then about 9-ish, I was ready to push.